Hi, hello, welcome to Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. Well, welcome. Today is May 4th. It's Thursday. How's everyone doing? I apologize. I had some technical difficulties. I was supposed to go on at 7, and then the stream just I don't know what happened. It got disconnected, and so I had to start over. So here I am. How's everyone doing? So today we had a little bit of sun outside. I'm coming live from New York, and I'm having gratitude for this moment. Are you? I don't know if you got a chance to watch the interview with Rick Rellis, and he is a Bigfoot expert and investigator, and you can look at that on my channel. And he shared with us many experiences that he's had, and he believes that there is Bigfoot. Hello, Michael. How are you? Or right? Hello, Michael. Yes. Mercury in retrograde. Yes, you know what? That's what it could be. And also, there are so many frequencies coming at us with all of this transition that we're going through, the bank crashes and the human demons. I'm going to get into some topics like human demons, bank crash, God. Of course, I'm going to touch on psychic phenomenon and angels, like I always do. I was thinking that we might have a chance today to do some chakra, some chakra work or an exercise with chakra, and also something related to light, because we want to bring onto the earth more positive energy and more light, and that will come through you. That will come out of us because we are beings of light. You're a highly advanced being of light. You're highly dimensional. And because you've awakened to who you really are and what's possible, then you are actually bringing forward this new civilization with myself as well. We are together bringing forth this new civilization. And it might seem as though, who's that? Ghost Knight, how are you? It might seem as though things are bleak, and it looks out there as though, oh my goodness, what's about to happen? But isn't it the case when things seem at their worst, if you hold on and you're consistent, you have discipline, and you're positive, then all of a sudden something new and wonderful is revealed? And I believe really that that's what's about to happen for all of us. And they say that the storm is upon us, or they're quoting now, and it's coming out. A lot of the QAnon, the Q is talking about the storm is upon us, or that phrase, these breadcrumbs that they drop. And I could tell you myself, and I'm going to get into what an intuitive is, and you are an intuitive as well. We all are intuitive. We all have an intuition within us. It's like a human lie detector test that you have within you, a human lie detector test that you have. And you can sense if you're tuned in and you know yourself and you've tuned into your heart and you've realized some of your abilities and you've practiced your clairsenses, you too can know immediately if someone's being honest. It's just a matter if we want to believe it or accept it. I don't know if you've ever been in some kind of relationship. It could have been with anything from a friend to an employer, to a parent, to a teacher, to a loved one. And they're telling you something. And inside of you, you sense, I don't think that that's true. But then you really want to believe it. You're like, okay, I'm just going to give this person a pass. I'm going to let it go. Maybe they're telling me the truth, but you really know the answer. You know they're not. And also, I always say, if you see someone out there in the physical reality doing something to someone else, just know they'll eventually do it to you. No, they'll eventually do it to you. I'm talking about the bad stuff. I'm talking about something that is hurtful to you. So if you see them doing anything mean to someone else, then they're eventually going to do it to you. Don't think that you're special, because you're not. There are those out there that can't help themselves from being bad. So have you had any dreams lately? I know that I've told you that I've been someone who just wakes up always and then writes down my dreams. And I even have a dream journal on Amazon. And you can just go out and get a composition book or just a piece of paper and write it down on a piece of paper and just take note, write the description, the date, and what kind of feelings that you had related to the dream. And it will maybe kind of uncover something that you didn't really have an answer for, or it might be symbolic of a circumstance or a direction you should go into, or something that's going on right now in your life, and it's giving you information. Know that you have the answers within you. Now, some of the time when we're awake, it's just too much for us to bear. So it's shared with us while we're sleeping. So write down your dreams. Also, as always, I say your thoughts are very powerful. You can change the outcome through energy within you. If you have a flash of information, you can change the outcome. You can change the outcome of whether or not something is successful or it's a failure, because that's how powerful your thoughts are. You have energy, you have feelings, you have emotions that attached to your thoughts. And also our intention. Do you have a positive intention, which is a commitment to do our best? I hope you do. Anyone who's with us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, I have to say, I want to get into the banks, but I'm first going to speak about these human demons. And you say, well, what does that mean exactly, human demons? And I'm really referring to, I guess, the spirit of a being. Is the spirit of a being evil, or is it pleasant or graceful and kind? Is it evil? Are there human demons? Now, maybe there's some kind of possession going on. And I'm bringing this up because we are in, as I mentioned the other day, World War III. And World War III might not be involving guns and artillery and hand-to-hand combat, but it's a spiritual war we're undergoing, and it's about actually taking possession of humans. Because, human DNA is very, very, I guess you could say, powerful. It's worth something. It's like gold. Like what you have within you is gold. And the reason why we kind of don't realize how wonderful we are is because we've been crushed. We've been suffering. We've had tragedy and trauma, and some of us more than others. So let me remind you, out there in the physical reality, now maybe something will come to you, in your home or in your dream state or on a personal level that might be evil. But out in the physical reality, there are those operating from a different perspective and standard. Now, I've said before, more than 50% of those out there lie. We spoke about con men a couple of weeks, months ago. I did a whole video about con men. And someone who's a con man knows that we will listen from people that we believe to be in positions of authority. And a con man knows that. A con man knows that there are those out there that are vulnerable, they're non-suspecting, they're very trusting, they're naive, because like me and probably you, we want to believe the best in people. And we're easily tricked. Now, there's another higher level of this, or maybe in the same realm, there are these human demons. So it's a human being, maybe a person, And it might just be a demon that is within that we think human. Now, I can't believe some of the atrocities and some of these actions taken against humanity. And I can't believe that these people, these other human beings, are actually human, because how could they harm us this way? How could they take advantage of us this way and be human? So I'm going to consider, and maybe you should too, that they're not humans. They're of something else. Now, maybe they are carrying around some kind of malevolent, evil spirit within them. And that might be by choice, or they might be brainwashed or have mind control. I don't know, whatever it is, but just be aware that they're out there. Now, it might be a possessed person, a tormentor. It might be a supernatural entity. So demons could mean a person's inner struggle. I mean, you've probably heard that terminology before, where they say, well, I was dealing with my demons. Someone who's an addict will say, I can't fight off my own demons. But this is something far worse than that. And in the past, I've mentioned the deep state, I've mentioned the Illuminati, I've mentioned the Freemasons, these secret societies, these bloodlines. I did a video about the bloodlines the other day. And to me, these things, or whatever they are not human. So I believe them to be human demons. Now, we've been surrounded by a constant negative frequency and energy for our whole lifetime. And that's why it's hard for us to kind of penetrate and get to our core, because we've had to put up wall after wall after shield to protect ourselves, because we've been actually existing since we were children in fear, worried about this, worried about that. Maybe it's a teacher, a bully. It might be frenemies. It might be an employer. It might be even a parent. It might be a relative. We've been, and also society crushes us. It's like, it's okay to, I guess they say, criticize others and harm each other. They say sticks and stones may break the bones, but names will never hurt you. Well, names do hurt us. And I'm not trying to be like weak about this. I'm just trying to say we've not lived in a place where we walk out of our homes and hug one another and have love. Hey, Ghost Knight, what are you saying? I think there are beings that aren't human, but they are also spiritually more advanced and therefore have been successful. Yes, I agree with you. And they've said now we're coming to terms with the fact that this whole AI concept, and it's actually becoming very common. We all know about AIs, and it used to be like, really? Some kind of computer's going to run things? But a computer is running a lot of the systems that are going on in our world right now. Now, is there an off-planet AI that is a bad AI? And also, there are some extraterrestrials that are very nasty, and they're evil. And I don't know if you believe in extraterrestrials, maybe clones, yes. And I don't know, like the clones seem to just follow. I don't know if the clones are actually evil or they're just being directed to what to do. And we have to realize this, and I'm bringing attention to this, not for us to be like, oh my gosh, this is so sad, this is scary. It's just to be aware. Because if you see someone or meet someone and you say, wow, like I'm really hurt by them, or they do some really awful crimes, I want you to know that we don't know if they're necessarily human. They might be of something else. So we've been under constant scrutiny and around negative energies and frequencies, and it's been very disrupting. I mean, we can just say simply that our radio was tuned in at 440 and it should have been tuned in at 432 hertz, because it's actually causing crisis within us. It's causing friction within us. We have been really challenged. And if you're here with me right now, you're a survivor. Do you think some? Yeah, you are a survivor. So blessings to you. We are survivors of 2023. Yes, we are. Now, there's politicians that I'm realizing that have participated in some of these evil goings on, and we're going to hear more and more about that as this financial system collapses that we've been existing in. And if and when the quantum financial system comes underway, and we will hear about the emergency broadcast system and see these disclosures, and we're going to see some really rotten, crummy stuff in the future, which I'm not looking forward to. I'm probably not going to want to watch it. There are politicians and there are leaders that have participated in sacrifices. Now, I've heard all about these DUMBS tunnels across the globe that have been human trafficking and child trafficking, and they are a cult. They are clubs. And I wonder if these are really human. Are they a soldier for the devil? Maybe Satan here to steal human DNA. I don't know, for consumption. These frightening things are scary, whether the deceit, thievery, corruption, sexual abuses, killings, kidnappings, human trafficking, child trafficking. Now, are the banks corrupted or involved in this as well? Brands, politicians, Washington leaders, all part of this very, very, I guess, complex arrangement. Child services, are they involved? And maybe teachers as well. And I'm just bringing this information forward because I know it's kind of scary and upsetting. However, it seems as though we have been tricked and we've been deceived, and we can't look the other way anymore. We have to pay attention. And if you're hearing this and it's upsetting, it's more like maybe it's going to take some time for you to, I guess, allow this information to come forward. And we have to just be aware, because we don't want anyone else to suffer or be in harm's way. And that's why I'm bringing it up. It's not because I don't like talking about it. It makes me sick to my stomach, but it's really what I'm hearing about more and more every day now, because I think more disclosure is coming forward. And when it's coming through on a lot of these feeds over and over and over, repetition about these evil spirits, these human demons, I have to say then that means that more of us are awakening. Now, if you've awakened like I have you been having any ascension symptoms? Maybe ringing in the ear, maybe your diet's starting to change, you're hungry for different foods, maybe your sleep patterns, maybe you're waking up at the same time every night. Maybe you're someone that is having lucid dreams and you're being communicated with by angels or other beings or a higher consciousness. Maybe you're having angels whisper into your ear, or you're receiving premonitions. Any of that is possible if you've awakened. We have awakened, you and I, and not that many across the globe have, but it's going to come sooner than later, the change, the transition. And as I've shared with you, we're in the middle of the transition and we're beyond the 75% getting through the transition. And I know that to be true because of the bank situation. We cannot have New Earth. We cannot have the 5 dimension until more of these systems crash, which is if the banking system crashes, can't even talk tonight. If the banking system goes down, then that means that we're going to have to create a new way. Now, I don't believe it's going to turn into this central banking or these chips or what this one world government wanted. That's what we've already done. And guess what? That's failed. So we're not doing that again. And we're not going to trust that. We're not going to believe that. If they come to us and they say, okay, everything's at zero now, and this is what we're going to implement, and we think it's kind of more control, and we know that it's not for the better good of us, we are all for heaven on earth, aren't we? We are all for this new civilization. We've been planting seeds. We've been creating with our thoughts this new civilization. And in the new civilization, we're not going to have the IRS. We're not going to have debt or credit cards, because that banking system was a bunch of crooks running things. And there's no money left in the bank. Because what did they do? We put it in the bank, and then they loaned it. And that's why you can't have any interest. We don't get any interest on our money anymore because there's no money. It's not sitting there. So they can't give us any interest. They just loaned it out 50,000 million times. And that's why the banks are crashing. Plus, they've been like lining their pockets with like all kinds of bonuses and trips here and there, and just take, steal. And they're money laundering. They've been money laundering, and they've been using the banking system for themselves. And we did speak about the bloodlines the other day. Now, the bank crash, I'm going to get into that. And anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy, coming live from New York. Where are you? And I am here to be optimistic and tell you that there's another reality, and it's beautiful out there. And I'm telling you that you're a worthy being of light. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you do or what you have. As is, you are gold. You have to tune inward and say, I love myself. I accept myself. Let's do that right now. Let's close our eyes. Let's let out a breath. Let's tune into our hearts like we've been doing lately. We're going to ask ourselves, because we are connecting. We're knowing our feelings. We're understanding ourselves. Because guess what? The more you know this guy, the more you know yourself, then the more you can understand everything that's going on out there. Because when you start to tune into yourself, and you can feel all of your energies and frequencies and vibrations and feelings and emotions, and you take a pause and you say, wow, I'm not good right now, or wow, I'm feeling good, I'm happy, I'm content, or maybe you're just like, I'm sad, whatever it is. Don't you realize that when you figure this out, everything out here is going to jar you at first, and you're going to say, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? But you're going to have more awareness. So when you turn inward, you will be more intuitive. And that's where we're going. That is where the world is going. Because we were not taught to be intuitive. Everything was coming at us, whether it was the chemtrails in them, or maybe it was in the food, the water, just them sending us crap through the television set, whatever it was not to have us live longevity. We were not living till we were 150. We're living to maybe 70, 80. We should be living a lot longer than that. All right, so we're going to hang music. I'll read it 1 second. I'm just going to do tune inward. So we're going to tune into our heart, and I'd like you to I'm going to be quiet for a second. Take a breath. Relax. Just ask yourself, how are you feeling? Okay, it should be a quick answer. So for me, I'm feeling a whole heck of a lot better than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I felt like, oh, could something good just happen? You ever have days like that? I said, oh, this is a really hard day, but you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to suck it up, and I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to get through it, and maybe something good will happen. And lo and behold, today was a much better day, a much better day. So today, when I tuned into my heart, it said, I feel good. I feel positive. I feel like light on the horizon. Good things are coming beyond our view. A difficult situation will improve, which is when the sun rises and you see the sun rising and there's glowing yellows and oranges and reds. And you're like, oh, that just touched my heart. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have hope. And that's what I have right now, hope. What is music saying? Remember, any ideas or belief systems about the state of the world encounter in the That's absolutely true. It's stream of consciousness. Music, thank you so much. This is very wise. Yes. Okay. I want to remind you that you can watch my interview with Rick Rellis, and that was about Bigfoot. And it was posted up, premiered last night. I hope you watch it. It was very interesting and informative. What does Ghost say? Ghost Night. And it was fun. It's very interesting. And I think I'm going to plan on going one of those Bigfoot expeditions. There's, let's see, one in New Jersey in June. I'm thinking maybe I can go to that. And you go out into the deep, deep woods and you bring your camping equipment and you wait. You wait for Bigfoot. And I consider Bigfoot to probably be an extraterrestrial because the fact that they can't ever catch Bigfoot, and Bigfoot has a very powerful consciousness. And based on what Rick said, it seems as though Bigfoot is telepathic and can hear your thoughts. I would consider doing that. I don't know how I would be if this 9 foot or 6 to 9 foot tall furry creature came towards me. Although I've had many dreams with Bigfoot, I believe one day I'm going to encounter Bigfoot. So that's a consideration. Now, Rick has his own with a partner. They have their own business, and you can find it on Etsy, and it's all this merchandise. I have a t-shirt. I have to find it and bring it out and show it to you maybe next live. And it's very cool. Hats and clothes and sweatshirts and magnets, and it's I know Squatch. I know Squatch, and you can find that on Etsy. So if you want to get any Bigfoot apparel, he has it. All right, so the bank crash, what's going on? And I've been mentioning this. Now, it started in March. Just in March 2023, there was the bank crash. The banks start crashing. And then the government's like, oh, no worries. We'll bail them out. And there was, three banks that crashed, I believe. And the first 3 that crashed were Silicon Valley, Signature Bank, and then I think that First Republic was teetering. But what happened was, what did music say? Thanks, we are all, it was our connection. So the bank crash, the reason why I'm bringing up the bank crash again is because starting this week, again, we started to see things fall apart. Now, it's inevitable. And some of the white hats have been telling the QAnon or the Q or on Twitter, I don't know who's the alliance, they've been sharing on some of this Rumble and on Twitter that there is going to be this quantum financial system, which I mentioned. I have this little document here that shows kind of some of the information related to it. If you want to see that, there that is, if you want to take a picture, screenshot of that. And it's basically a breakdown of this quantum computing. Now, if you look on the government site and you put in quantum financial system, quantum computing, you will realize that back when our last president, I'll say, because I'm not going to say his name because I had a video taken down the other day when I mentioned the last president. And it was said that it was too many conspiracy theories. No, I'm not a conspiracy theory. dearest. I'm a truth seeker like you. I'm a rebel. I think out of the box. I climbed out of the matrix. I opened my eyes. Anyway, the last president, he started an executive order related to his quantum financial computing. And also we know that there's a few banks that have been involved in already researching and dealing with quantum computing. So are we going to go into this quantum financial system, which would mean that it's going to be blockchain. All our transactions will be public. We're going to have a code name, and our money would change over into this new system. And we'd get this rainbow currency. We'd have Nasara Jasara, which means no income tax, no IRS. We'd have a sales tax for some items. Necessities would not be taxed. We would have debt forgiveness. There would no longer be credit cards or mortgages or car leasing payments. Sounds pretty good to me. I'm crossing my fingers. And with this, we would have this emergency broadcast system. And this would happen when the banks all crash. And the emergency broadcast system, which was tested last month in April, they spoke about it in England and as well in Florida. And they said, oh, we were just testing it. Now, why would they do that? Why would it be tested unless there was a plan to actually use the emergency broadcast system? So I truly believe that that's in our future because there's signs. Like you can't look the other way. You have to know that this is a sign. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. This is Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, and I'm cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. So this bank crash that's happening right here, right now, we are in the middle of this bank crash, this collapse of the banking system. And the bank stock prices in the last 2 days have declined. And I'm going to tell you which ones. So it looks like right now, we know that First Republic Bank crashed, and then they had a deal, and they've made a deal with JP Morgan Chase, who rescued them. Now it was at 0.3, so less, I guess that's 3 cents. First Republic stock went down to. So they crashed. Now, in the last 24 hours, we've had PacWest. Now I have this little bingo chart that someone had made up. And so we can see these are the banks that have crashed, right? And now we're talking about, these are all other big banks. See, the others are big banks. So PacWest is distressed now. So it has gone down to $3.33, the stock. And it's sliding, and it plunged, PacWest, it plunged 60%. That's not a good sign. 60%. First Horizon, this is in the last 24 hours, dropped 50%. It's down to $9.63. It collapsed after bank merger was over, so it didn't work out. And then Western Alliance down 58%. So here we go. PacWest 60%, First Horizon 50%, Western Alliance 58%. That's a lot. If you look at stocks, usually it's maybe 1%. 58%. These are crashing. These banks are crashing. It's down to $18.50. Okay, now that's not all. So the top 5 banks, if they go down, if they crash, it's over. It's completely over. Ghost Knight says, I was just about to say that. Thanks. We all are only as wise as our connection. Alexandra Morel from New York, welcome. Hello, Alexandra. We're just discussing banks. What do you know about banks, Alexandra Morel? All right, so when a bank crashes, the FDIC, or a state regulatory agency, closes the bank. And then the insured bank accounts up to 250,000. So they're like, don't worry, we're going to cover you. How much do you have? If it's under 250,000, we'll cover you. Well, where's that money coming from? Are they printing it? FDIC's printing more money? Where are they getting it? Who's supplying the cover? Who's paying for this? When bank fails, insured deposits will be moved to another FDIC insured bank or paid out. Now, customer accounts will just move into another bank. But if we all crash, if all the banks crash, what will happen is nobody's trusting banks. That's all I read today. Nobody's trusting banks. Now, here's the top 5 banks. The top 5 banks. You can see them on this chart. Maybe I'm boring you with this bank information. You want to hear about psychic phenomena? We're going to get onto that. We're going to get onto that. No worries. But this is important stuff. This is important what's going on, because then we're going to have the quantum financial system. And then we're going to go to we're going to go to these centers, and they're going to give us an exchange of currency and a quantum phone and a quantum computer. And then if you have a humanitarian initiative or project, then you can get some funding. All right, so here you can see the top 5 banks, which are Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo. Where's Wells Fargo? Right there. Wells Fargo is right there. And Wells Fargo is worth $306 billion. And their stock right now is 36.72. Now, if that goes boop, then if these banks go boop, then it's done. We hit zero, new banking system. Okay. Now, all these banks that I'm listing right now are down this week. They are all down as well, but not like crashing 50% yet. Bank of America is worth $3.24 trillion. $3.24 trillion. It's down as well. It's at $28.99. $20.99. Citigroup. Where's Citigroup on here? There's Citigroup. That's my bank, Citigroup. It's worth $91.49 billion. And then there's JP Morgan Chase, which is worth $44 billion, and that stock is at $134. Oh, Citigroup is at $44. So more U.S. banks have been failing in the last 24 hours, which is catching up with what happened in March. Okay. And so here we go. What's going to happen? What is your prediction? We are all intuitives, which is, it's based on feelings. If you're tuning into your intuitive abilities, if you're practicing clair senses, psychic phenomenon, you know that your intuitive abilities are a knowing that you have. It's an ability to receive information, to start to kind of understand what it means, to find the symbolism, to maybe get some kind of flash of information from another source, and you have no proof. You have to have a knowing, you have to have a belief, you have to have trust, a self-acceptance. If you deny, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. You won't receive any information. If you say, that's a fairy tale, that's science fiction, and guess what? You're not going to receive any impressions. You're not going to get telepathic. You're not going to hear anything in your ear from another location. You're not going to be able to remote view or channel or speak to spirits or angels. You have to believe. You have to have an open mind and an open heart. And that's just how it goes. So these intuitive flashes of information will happen spontaneously. Sometimes you'll ask for it, like we do when we do an exercise, we have a suggestion, we drop down, we relax, we breathe, we inhale and exhale, and we make physical contact, and we tune into our clair senses, whichever one you choose, and you receive a flash of information when you give a suggestion. Now, if you're out throughout your day and you're not here practicing, the more you practice, the more you tune inward and understand all of the systems within you, your emotional, your physical, your mental, your spiritual, and physical, mental, spiritual. What am I missing? Spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, emotional. That's it. When you really master who you are, you're going to spontaneously receive information. Now, if you shut it down and say, oh, I don't want to know, or oh, it's too much for me, it's going to stop for a while. And the information might help you on your personal journey. It might help you get to your destiny. It might help you have an opportunity. It might give you assistance to get out of the way of danger or something good. So just be aware. Now, God. I'm bringing up God because I brought up the negative. And I'm bringing up God. Actually, I'm going to bring up an angel first. Angels are beings of light, and they come from the heavens to earth. They're here to protect humanity. They are benevolent. They are celestial. They might have wings and halos and fine art. They are guides. They're messengers. They're warriors for humanity. They come from the heavens to earth. There's tens of thousands, they say, upon millions. And they've been here fighting the spiritual war against evil for us. However, now we have to get our personal power, and now we have to pull it up, and we have to stand forward, and we have to be brave, be courageous. We can't just cower and be scared of what's going to happen. We have to stand up for ourselves. We have strength within us, whether we realize it or not. We are capable of so much more. And as you activate your DNA, your human blueprint within you, you will realize that there is more of you than meets the eye. You're going to have a bigger personality. You're probably going to cry a little more, laugh a little more, and all of your powers are going to come forward. And your powers are going to be your intuitive skill set. Your powers are going to be, your mind is going to become more powerful, and you're going to start seeing all kinds of different frequencies and energies. And you're going to realize that you might just be able to levitate this pen, travel through the air, telekinesis, whatever ionic powers are within you. Now, are you going to get them right like that in a flash? No, it's going to take time because our bodies are changing. They're morphing into crystalline light from carbon-based. The more that light that comes onto the earth, the more light that comes into your system. And your DNA is being activated. You can ask your cells, hey cells, wake up. Talk to yourself. I do all the time. So you might also have a chance to have some precognition, which is foretelling knowledge of an event. Like I shared with you the other night that I had gone to a movie, personal story, and I had seen this movie, The Covenant, which was excellent. You should go see it. And there was a lot of action going on, and it was war scenes, and so it kind of like freaked me out a little bit. However, I was more alert because there was all of this going on throughout this movie. It wasn't a quiet, restful kind of movie. It was really action packed. And so when I left the theater, I got in my car and I'm driving, and I saw this one car out of my right eye, and I thought it was yellowish beige. And then I looked, but it wasn't. And then literally I traveled up the road a minute later, 30 seconds later, and literally this car came barreling down. It almost drove right into me. And it was like I had a premonition, because the car that I saw was over here came barreling down. It was over here. And if I hadn't had that premonition, I probably wouldn't have been prepared for it. It was like I saw it, and then I stopped, and then he didn't hit me. So it's interesting how just practicing this psychic phenomenon, we're going to become more skilled at our clairsenses, and maybe you're going to realize that you can master more than one sense. So be aware of that. Now, God. Now, maybe you believe in God. Maybe you believe in God's source or source energy, which is a vibration of love and wholeness. And God has wisdom, creator and ruler of the universe. God is known as the eternal supreme being who created and preserves all living things. The Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, is the Almighty God. Why am I bringing this up? Because we have to start to have faith if we don't. We have to start to believe in goodness and purity if we don't. And if we don't, then what will happen is some of this evil stuff will try to take our spirit, try to take our love, try to take us down. I'm really stumbling tonight on my words. Maybe I'm tired. Now, whether you believe in God or not, we must restore our faith that this higher power and good exists. And we will be seeing and hearing so many truths in the near future. We have to believe that there's hope and there's faith and there's grace and there's kindness and love and joy exists. I do. I believe, you can see I have a cross on my wrist, and I believe since I had these near-death experiences when I was a child, the first time was 2.5 and the second time was 6. I believe and remember being connected to another realm, I guess something more eternal, something more peaceful and loving, and it connected me into this very optimistic perspective. And I have a belief that anything is possible. I have a belief in goodness and kindness and love. And that's probably because of my near-death experiences. Faith is the assurance of things that we hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. So faith is really trust. Faith is a belief that we have, I guess, I don't want to say luck, but a belief that we are safe, and it's a confidence and trust that everything's going to be okay. And that's what faith is. It's like we believe and trust that something is going to exist, something is going to be. And so faith is humility, gentleness, patience, and in the face of doubts, belief simply that something we take to be true. Now, I don't know if you have faith. I hope you do. I do. So God is energy. God is source energy, and it's an energy that is created of all things, matter and energy. And this energy that you feel is complete. God's source feels like complete. And it feels like you don't have to prove. Like I believe in a higher power. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And I believe that, and it's been proven to me that if you just maintain positivity and you stay the path, then good things will happen. And I really, really believe that. And I know it to be true. I just know it to be true. All right, so let's do some psychic phenomenon. It's a very quiet evening. I know the stream broke down and here I am and it's late at night, but you know what? Where are we at? It's like 8:19. All right, so let's do some psychic phenomenon and let me remind you about our chakras, because we are embarking on the 1 hour mark and that's when we usually do psychic phenomenon. So here we are with our chakras, and we've done some chakra work before, and the chakra work is actually opening up, and chakras are wheels of energy, and there's 7 within the body and 5 outside of the body, and we've spoken about them. And so tonight I would like us to connect to the universal chakra, which is number 10. And the universal chakra is right up here, as you can see. So it's probably about 2 feet from your crown chakra, which is the top of your head. And we're going to kind of work with our universal chakra, which is the awakening of spiritual evolution, divine pathways, infinite creation, and physical realms in the universe. So we are going to connect with our universal chakra. So we are going to drop down. We're going to right now, we are going to try to connect and see if we can remote view, if we can receive some impressions from our universal chakra. So I'd like you to relax. I'd like you to let out a breath. I'd like you to maybe imagine that your arms are like ragdoll, a jellyfish. And you're letting out a breath. And you want to put all of your weight in your bottom, like we always say. And remind yourself of the bottom of your spine, your root chakra. You know, wait, where is it? Right down here. It's way down here in the bottom of your spine. And that's where you kind of want to put your weight. So we're going to relax. Maybe you want to move your head around, take away any tension, open and close your hands. Maybe move your ankles away. Make sure nothing's crossed. You might be laying down or sitting. It's entirely up to you. Maybe you want to keep your eyes open or closed. These are my personal experiences. Whatever happens for you is entirely personal. So when I share it with you, my experiences, maybe you're going to find when you practice with your clairsenses like we do, the psychic phenomenon, you're going to find something works for you better. Trust your intuition. I don't know. I'm starting to hear something in my ear. I don't know you have a different way of getting there. It's not necessarily going to be the same way that I get there when you receive impressions. An impression is a sensation, a feeling, a tone, a sound, a mental picture. It's maybe it's a viewing of something, a symbol, an animal, whatever it may be, a flash of information. All right, so relax and let out a breath. And then we're going to inhale and exhale. We're going to do that 3 times because we're really going to relax. We're really going to relax because it's Thursday. It's been a long week already. It's not the weekend yet, so we still have to get through tomorrow. All right, so we're going to inhale and exhale 3 times. Okay, so hopefully we're a little bit more relaxed. And I've said before, let's find some stillness within us. We've been holding space within us, haven't we? Maybe you're holding it in your heart. Maybe you're holding it in your mind. Maybe you're holding it in your entire vessel. We're holding space and we're holding space. And that space is going to be a place that we know is ours, that we are safe. We are loved. We love ourselves. And might be a place that we have wisdom and understanding and more perception. All right, so we are pushing away any doubts. We're dropping down into our physical being. So we're making physical connection. We're dropping down. So we're really just dropping down. We're pushing away thoughts. We're taking away any doubt. We're having acceptance. We're saying, I can do this. I can do this. And we're having a trust that the information is going to come. And what we're going to do right now is we are going to imagine, here's our crown chakra, and we are going to imagine probably, I would say, a foot above the top of our crown, or top of our head, which is we are reaching and we are imagining a foot above, which would be our universal chakra. And we are going to imagine a foot above that there is a ball of light. And I'm going to be quiet. And then we're going to imagine, we're going to give the suggestion that we are connecting to our universal chakra and see if we receive any impressions. Now, if you've opened up your different clairsenses, your hearing, your clairvoyance, your third eye, your clairsustenance, your heart, maybe your claircognizance, your knowing. Let's see if we receive anything. I'm going to be quiet and let's see if we receive any information. So we're imagining a foot above our top of our head, our crown chakra, a ball of light, and just visualize with your eyes closed, your eyes open, a ball of light. I'm going to be quiet now. Okay, so I'm going to share with you what I received. I don't know if you received anything. Did I give it enough time? Okay, I'm going to start with the end of what I heard, because if I don't tell you, so I heard, and I'll tell you the scenario that happened. Mary, you're being restored. So whatever that means. I heard that. Mary, you're being restored. I should write that down. Mary, because I'll forget. Because it's like a flash of information. If you don't write it down right away, it's lost because it's a flash. So what happened was, it's a very hard concentration. I don't know if it happened for you. It's hard to concentrate. I hope you're liking the video, whoever's joining us. So, it's this ball of light, a foot from the top of our head, which is the universal chakra, which is divine pathway, infinite creation. And I heard step forward, and I stepped forward and I went down, plunged down through a hole, and I landed in nature. And then I was like, what? Like, that's where divine is? Maybe nature, right? So that's pure. Nature's pure. And then I looked down and I got really close up and there was a bee. And I was hearing buzzing by the bee. And then I heard, Mary, you were restored. So that's my experience. I don't know if anyone else had an experience. Ghost night, that could mean you're regressing into your true self, a form of healing. Oh, well, that's good. Good news. So I don't know if you had any experience. I hope you do. Let's try something else. I want to do something with light because I've been doing a lot of light work lately. And it's interesting, when I go to the gym and we start doing these exercises over and over, I take this class and there's all this different equipment. I can actually pop light on everyone, spin light around people. So I'd like to do some light work because I think that it's advancing. It's helping advance me. All right, so here we have, and it may be in advancing you as well. Here we have a map of the United States and all of the other countries of the world that we know about. Although we know that we don't know. Here's the map of the United States. No, that's not the United States. That's just New York. We don't know what is really in Antarctica, do we? Now, I've heard, because we've been finding out about Admiral Byrd, and Admiral Byrd spoke about an inner Earth in Antarctica, and also about extraterrestrials that are living down there. Who's this? Who's that? The Mystic Truth Seeker. Hello, Mystic Truth Seeker. Hello, we just are doing some psychic phenomenon. I'm Mary, and this is Living in the Light. Mystic Truth Seeker, you got to go on my cheat sheet because I got everybody's name. Where are you coming from? Mystic, I don't think that you've been here before. And I only ask because I'm like, hey, I'm from New York. Where are you from? I'm Mary. And how did you find us? Okay, so here is a map of the world. And I would like us to spend a little bit of time, and I'll walk you through it, sending some light across the world. Now, here's a grid. I've showed you this before, and you might want to do some grid work because I'm a light worker, and grid work involves sending light to certain areas and actually anchoring light into the earth. And, you know, in certain areas upon the globe, there is needed light because there's a lot of negativity and darkness. So that's why I am practicing with you grid work. All right, so here's a map of the globe. And you might want to look at that, and I'm going to walk you through it. And I'll hold it up every now and then because then you can send light. So let's practice right now. Let's do this. So let's close our eyes. Closing our eyes. And again, we're going to relax. And we're going to let go of any tension that we have in our bodies. It's like a mini recap of what I said earlier. And we are letting go of any tension, and we're dropping down into our bottom, reminding ourselves that we put all of our weight in our root chakra, which is the bottom of our spine. And you can keep your eyes open or closed. It's entirely up to you. And maybe you're like a rag doll, and you're pushing away any doubt. And you're having trust and acceptance that this is possible. And you're letting go of any thoughts. And you're dropping down into your physical vessel, and you're making connection. When I say making connection, I mean that you're tuned into your clear senses, right? Your hearing, your sight, your clairvoyance, your feeling, your touch, maybe your smell, maybe your taste, your claircognizance. It's entirely up to you what you focus on. And it's really whatever you're drawn to, whatever resonates with you. All right, so we're dropping down. What I'd like you to do right now is, I'd like you to imagine, I'd like you to go down inside your being, whatever that means to you. And I'd like you to search for your bottom, the bottom of you. And so let's take ourselves down within our inner self and start searching, going down, plunging downward to try to find where the bottom of you is. And can you find it? So let's reach deeply down within ourselves. And we're kind of looking for the truth. We're looking for, I guess you could say, the realest, most genuine part of ourselves. That's one way to describe it. So we're going downward. It might seem like it's dark. I don't know. For me, when I go down, it's almost like I'm flying downward. I'm swimming it downstream. And I'm going down. I'm looking and searching for the bottom, because at the very bottom, what we're going to see is we are going to see a ball of light. So when you reach the bottom, you're seeing a ball of light within you. And this ball of light is glowing. It's like if you imagined the sun close up, except it's a white ball of light. And this ball of light you sense is solid, it's whole, it's powerful, and it is sparking light. There's sparks of light. It's illuminating. It's glowing. And it's probably, it looks like the size of maybe a quarter, a golf ball. And you see this ball of light. And as you see this ball of light, you know that you have more power than you ever realized. And this power is within you. This power is not outside of your being. This power is within you. And this power is capable of anything. And you are accepting this light, this ball of light, this glowing, illuminating ball of light, the size of a golf ball within you is very powerful. And when I mean powerful, I mean it is capable of your wildest, most humongous dreams that you ever thought of, saw, sensed, imagined, like your most wildest dream. And this ball of light is expanding within you, and it's growing larger, and it's spinning. It's spinning clockwise within you. And this ball of light is getting larger and larger. And now it's spinning counterclockwise within you, and it's growing larger and larger. And now it's half the size of a basketball. This ball of light, and as this ball of light expands, you are almost a little overwhelmed. You're excited. You're a little giddy. You're saying, oh my gosh, what's happening? And you are believing, and you're starting to believe that there's a world out there that you never know existed. So this ball of light is now moving back to clockwise, and it's expanding, expanding, expanding. And this ball of light is now filling half of your physical being. And this ball of light is huge, and it's spinning and spinning and spinning. And as it's spinning, you're growing more and more confidence. You're growing more and more love within you, love for yourself, love for anyone you can imagine. Now it's traveling counterclockwise. This ball of light is now actually 3/4 of covering your entire being up. And this ball of light is making you happier. You're smiling. You have a grin on your face. You can't believe this is happening to you. And you feel something different. You feel something come alive within you. And it's like a feeling you've never heard or felt. And it's an honesty about yourself. It's a truth that you never knew. And you remember something from your past that reminds you of exactly who you are. And now this ball of light has stopped moving. It's completely covered you. You are engulfed by this beautiful ball of white light. And you're actually just sitting in this ball of light now. And you're feeling warm and comfortable, like you'd like to take a nap. And you're saying, I will keep this ball of light within me. And I trust, and I hope. And I'm actually feeling more serenity than I've ever felt because of this ball of light. I'm just going to stay here in this moment for us to be here so we can keep it longer. This ball of light, this unimaginable ball of light. And I'm sensing that this ball of light actually is going to communicate with us. And it's going to guide us. It's going to guide us to the best possible pathway. It's almost like this ball of light is a portal for your new life. And so I'm going to count to 3 or 1. I'm going to count down from 3 to 1. And we're going to open our eyes. And we're going to open up. When we open our eyes, we're still going to have this ball of light connected to us. This ball of light is now part of us. We've accepted this ball of light. We've said, I accept it. I'm okay with it. In fact, I think it's a good thing. 3, 2, 1. Remind yourself of this ball of light right now. Do you sense this ball of light? It's around you. It's covering you. It's part of you. So what am I sensing with this ball of light right now? I sense that this ball of light is actually a new beginning. It's a new beginning for something better. And I saw something, this turning, this actual, like, it almost turned inside out. And everything from my inside is coming out here. More of my truth is going to come forward. More of my abilities are going to come forward. And that's what I believe is going to happen for you. All right, everybody. Well, it was nice everyone joining us tonight. So let me remind you, let's practice our clairsenses. Tonight we spoke about human demons, the bank crash, God, we mentioned. We mentioned this quantum financial system. We did a little exercise with our chakras. I don't know if you had an experience with your universal chakra. And I'm going to be back again either tonight or Saturday. I mean, not tonight. Tonight I already did. Tomorrow or Saturday. But I'll be back one more day because usually I'm doing 3 videos a week. Okay, everyone, I'm wishing you well, and I'm spinning light, and you're in the middle of it, and you're making a wish. Good things are happening for you, and we are capable of whatever we want. Our thoughts are that powerful. We can make whatever we want be reality. You're in the middle of it, and you're making a wish, and I'm spinning light around you. I'm seeing the light. I'm spinning it counterclockwise, and you're in the center of it. I'm sending it to you. Let me remind you, you can manifest with the 3 steps to manifesting. 1, you write it down on a piece of paper. You put it in your sock drawer. Step 2 to manifesting is you close your eyes. Whatever it is that you want, you're going to visualize it with all of your senses. And if it brings joy, you can have it. It's attainable. So it's 1, write it down on a piece of paper, put it in your sock drawer. 2, close your eyes, and with all your senses, visualize what you want. See it in your mind's eye. And 3, speak about it as if you already have it. Don't tell anyone. You want to protect your plan, your destiny, whatever it is you desire and want to manifest, you want to protect it. Because those out there, they don't really care about us. People are just worried about themselves. They're trying to survive 2023. And we are capable of so much more than you realize. And you're going to, every single day, more light's coming onto the earth. There's these solar flares. There is this awakening. And when we all begin to awaken, everyone on the globe, I would say all of the organic and natural beings, not the man-made, not the artificial, when all of the natural organic beings awaken, we have so much power. We have so much power because we're going to have this consciousness that's connecting. We're connecting, you and I. Our consciousness is connecting. And when that happens, we have unity. And when that happens, it's collective, and then anything is possible. All right, so everyone be well. I'll be back. Who's that? Ghost Knight. Thanks, Ghost Knight. Thanks, everyone. You're a cherished being of light. You're worthy. Bye.